This is David Wendell with BushcraftOnFire. We're here at Dirttime 09, and it's been my honor and pleasure to meet Jack Spirko. And what we're doing today is we're making some cordage out of yucca. So Jack, come on up here close. This is a yucca leaf. We've actually split this in half. This is California yucca, so it's a little stronger, a little longer as well than what we have in the Midwest. I'm actually from Missouri. But we're breaking this off in the middle. Just take the middle, break it off, and you can see the fibers as they come through. I'll break it a little more. The more you break it, the better. But you don't have to do any peeling or pounding, just break it. Then we're going to go ahead and start to pull apart these fibers into individual strands. And as we get these strands, we're going to be able to use these strands for all sorts of cordage, for anything that would take a rope or a twine-like material. And I'll just set those on the side here for a minute and keep pulling apart until we get a good number of strands. Okay, so we have enough strands here to demonstrate making a little cordage. Now what we want to do as we're making cordage is to gather 3 or 4 strands in our hand, and we're going to use this twine to make cordage. Now the first thing we're going to do, you'll see that some of these have thick ends, some have thin ends. In order to keep a uniform thickness of our cordage, I'm going to turn half of those around. Now what I'm going to do is, you'll notice this is about a foot and a half, 16 inches long. We're going to bend that approximately 1/3 of the way down. The reason for that is because if we join in here, we don't want to have our joints at the same place. If we do that, we'll cause thin cordage. It'll probably break. And I'm just going to go ahead and twist this until it forms a loop. Twisting away from myself till it forms a loop. Now I'm going to hold that loop in my hand, and again you can see a short end and a long end. And I'm going to begin to twist this cordage away from me and wrap it back over top of the previous cordage. Twist away, come back. Now there's a quick way to do this and get it really tight, and you can see it's already starting to wrap around itself and to make a cordage. What I'm going to do, as I twist, I'm going to bring my hand around and grab this other cordage and pull it back using my finger as a lever, and that will pull it tight. And so I can just do this over and over until we get to the end of the first strand. And as soon as we get to the end of that first strand, we'll be back to show you how to tie in. Alright, now what we've done is we've come down 1/3 of our cordage, and you can see we've got pretty nice stuff there. We're going very uniform. It doesn't look like one's wrapped around the other. They're all individually joined together. But we've come to the end. Now I can't really use a 4-inch, 5-inch piece of cordage. So what I need to do is extend this longer. In order to do that, I'm going to take 3 more strands. And on this end, remember we evened this out before, I'm going to go ahead and put the thin ends of my other piece. What I'm going to do is just lay them up along the small piece. You can see a small, you can see the large, and the other strands. And I'm going to just simply continue to cord the way that I was, joining those strands together. So I'm actually wrapping the long ones and the short ones together and then pulling them back. Now this is the reason that we don't want these strands to join in at the same place, because that would cause a very weak point. Another thing that you can do, I found here that we're running just a little thin in this piece, so what I'm going to do is add another strand. We'll just pull one more strand out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and add that strand in just to make it a little more uniform. I don't have to do this, but it will make the cordage a little more uniform. And I'm just going to add that strand in right here. In fact, you can go through your cordage and have 3 or 4 places where you just continue to add strands and have a nice uniform cordage, and you'll never have a single join point, which is a real nice way to go. Alright, so we just came to the end there. I'm going to join one more in there because it looks just a little bit thin still on me, Jack. I'm going to go ahead and join one more in there just to make it a little bit thicker. So you see you really have the latitude to do whatever you need to do to make your cordage the way you want it. And then we're going to finish this up in just a second. So let me cord down here just a little bit, and we'll finish it up and show you how it looks. Alright, we've come to the end of what we're going to cord for right now, so I'm just going to flip over, tie a knot in here like in any other cordage, and then I'm going to get out my knife, and I'm going to go back. You can use this just like it is, but it's sloppy woodsmanship. I'm going to come back, I'm going to cut off these strands, and then I'm going to do one more thing to make this cordage real usable and real fine. Where all these joints are, you can see we just cut those strands off. And now we have a pretty nice piece of cordage. Pretty good. We're going to do one more thing. Let's go over here to a tree. We go right over this tree. You can see the tree has relatively smooth bark, and I'm just going to take my cordage and I'm going to rub over this tree. What's this doing is just loosening up those fibers a little bit. Yucca's kind of tight. If I was using milkweed or cattail or something, it would also have a little bit of fiber possibly left in it. And there we go. Our finished cordage. Yucca would be strong enough to use if it was a little thicker. They actually used cordage about the size of their finger for bowstrings, for bow drill fires, for tying together in any kind of a knot. You can see it's very flexible and it'll work very well. Cool. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire and Jack Spirko. Good to have you with us, and join us again for more videos. Have a great day.